Hey there, welcome back to Operation Hidden Lilies. We're hunting a convoy with a couple of Soviet submarines, and unfortunately the convoy is not alone. They're being escorted by a cruiser and by a Perry, and the Perry we have been able to nail using one of our USET-80 torpedoes. Of course, that does not eliminate the risk that the convoy poses. We still have to eliminate the rest of those ships. So join me for part 2, as we're going to be hunting down the rest of this convoy right now. Now we're going to head into the convoy. We turn west. And there you go. The Lillies is launching missiles. What? What the hell are you launching? What could you be launching? Makes no sense. They could be launching standard missiles, but they have... Oh, actually, they do have something to launch that against. Oh, boy. I got way too close to the sun here. Leave formation, dive. Chaff it, get out. Suddenly I thought, oh boy. And the Lillies have very good range on those. That's 80 miles. So yes, they can not only continuously shoot missiles at me until I'm way too far away to potentially detect them, but those missiles that are currently in the air can definitely chase me. That's a problem. Alright, this USET still searching. That Perry looks to be listing over to port. I think that's a very good condition for that Perry to be in. As for the Charleston, they probably don't have a clue that there's a torpedo, but my torpedo doesn't have a clue that there's a Charleston either. As for this is a snapshot. This is where they thought the torpedo came from, which, yeah, I guess is kind of accurate. But it's not where I am anymore. It's not anywhere where I'm going to be. As for this Adams, see, he is closing in. Richard E. Byrd. He's closing in, but why? Why are you consistently closing in? They also have that RUR-5 capability. They also have the Mark 46. Outside of that, they don't have any capabilities. They also don't carry any aircraft, so they're definitely a bit more focused on air-to-air warfare as well as surface-to-surface. So RGM-84s, harpoons. And I believe that 7014 was the contact that actually managed to launch the missiles against my Volkov and the SKR-112. Now, as for the K-503, I haven't forgotten about her at all. But the problem is, she has company. There's a helicopter up there. That's one. And two, I don't really think my missiles are going to go through with that Lillie in the way. This thing is a bit annoying. Not sure if those missiles are still out there. We have changed course and altitude. Or maybe... I mean, we're not detecting them anymore. These things are not beam riders, are they? Semi-active radar homing, okay. Because I've also lost my detection. Go back up. Give me 10,000 feet. This torpedo is still searching. Oh, it's found something. There's the Charleston. Violently snaking. There. Right there, and he knows about it. Torpedo should have found the mark by now. We've reacquired the contacts using radar and their emissions. The Newport and the Austin are a bit panicking, I suspect. So they're turning away. And this torpedo might be sufficient to kill off the Charleston. It might not. The Perry is gone anyway. Good night. There you go. Not necessarily a kill, but it'll definitely give them something to worry about. These guys don't have too much to worry about anymore. Okay, the Adams then. He's also doing 13 knots. The distance is a bit greater. But let's say 0.94. In a half hour you're going to be there. My torpedoes, however, are far faster. 8 miles is going to take me a sixth of an hour. That's 10 minutes. This takes him half an hour, so it's going to take him about I think there. Let's have the torpedo go active there. Send it. Weapon away. I still have 5 torpedoes left. So far I've scored 2 hits on 2 launches, so that's good. The Charleston is definitely dead in the water. Listing over to port. Considering the fires raging aboard and the flooding probably tearing into the ship, I think they'll be dead. These sailors, however, are very chill under these conditions. They don't seem to mind that much. Alright, so far so good. These guys are running away, but that's fine. I can catch those with the anti-ship missiles from the 503. So that still gives me the 244 capable of going after the Lillies, which is not quite running away. I want to turn south. I want to move away from my own launch point again. As for the helicopters in the south, no, it's just helicopters, nothing more interesting than that happening. Alright, let's wait for these torps to collide with a big target. Unfortunately, the first torpedo against the Adams here missed, but this second one looks like it might be a big hit. It just has to go active, which I'm hoping for will happen any moment now. The Adams, there we go. The Adams is, as of yet, unaware of the threat. It did change course a moment ago when it saw the first torpedo, but this second one, I think, is running passive. It's not pinging, it's not giving off any warnings beyond its own sound profile. And that, I'm not so sure if the Adams is picking up, not at 18 knots. So this guy is about to have a very bad evening. There we go, they did drop a noisemaker. Is that going to fool the torpedo? I think not, sir. I think not. There you go. Right on the stern. So that could be the end of the Adams. At least it took care of the Perry. And it took care of the Charleston. Both of these ships are eliminated. The K-244 now really only has to deal with the Lillies, which, while still being a dangerous contestant, is something that I do feel like I can handle. As long as it doesn't run away too quick. So that's at 8.77. I could send a set 6, or, sorry, a 65-76 after it, and maybe get a hit, which immediately puts that thing out of commission. Yeah, why not? For science. Torpedo away. These are the bigger torpedoes. These are 650mm torpedoes. These 65s, hence their title. Other than the 533 or 21-inch torpedoes that these things are. These are somewhat smaller, but, well, in case of a torpedo, I don't think it matters too much what you get hit by. You're going to have massive issues aboard your ship. One way or another. Maybe the exception is the Mark 46 torp. It's that lightweight thing, because so far, I've seen submarines take 4 missiles and then finally go, okay, fine. I'll die. But sometimes that just takes a little bit too long. As for my bears, I have one which is actually inside the air bubble that the Lillies is putting down. The other one's passing south of it and is going to provide a bit more spotting to the patrol group Horizon over here. Which, at the moment, is still running MCON, but, you know, we're 46 miles out from a helo. I think they know we're here. I just wonder what else is out there, because that is something that I've never really been able to find. And, yeah, I do want to know. And I only just realized I have a helicopter on this thing all along. Completely overlooked that, I'm sorry. Alright, Wake Homer is going to have to travel another 6.5 miles. Now at this point I'm actually considering taking out these transports with the USAT 80s. Because they're the objective. And whatever happens after that's going to have to get taken out probably by the anti-ship missiles from the 503. But I don't find that to be a very ideal option. Because there is a secondary group behind there. That's been launching the helos. There is something else out there. I just need to find it and eliminate it. Now this is my problem with the 65-76. It's launched at the wake. I hope that we can find it. Because that Lillies is 5 miles out, but this torpedo is going to have to find the wake of that ship. And I'm not sure how big the wake is classified as in sea power. If that wake isn't big enough, this carrier killer is just going to sail harmlessly past and continue on its course until it either finds something else or runs out of fuel. I don't really like them because of exactly that. And because you also cannot adjust their path on the fly. But then again, I might have gotten a little spoiled with the Mark 48. Well, well, well. There's more out here than just a bunch of helicopters. Who would have known? Except that I wasn't expecting a full landing ship to show up. I wasn't expecting something that big. But hey, if they're here to play, we can give them a game. The problem is the Belknap. If I try and shoot my anti-ship missiles against the Tarawa right now, it's gonna get intercepted. So I either need to get a submarine all the way over there, or I'm going to have to find another way of evading the missile capabilities that the Belknap provides. Because the landing ship would be a fantastic prize to take out, but I'm not sure if this is that second group that they're talking about. And I don't have a limitless supply of torpedoes. So that has me a little concerned. Let's fly this bear over here. The Leahy is still not getting picked up by the Torp. Ideally at this point the Torp would change course, but I think it has to do with the launch point, or the, let's say, the first waypoint for this Torp. I don't think it's good, because it doesn't look for anything, it doesn't search. So it's almost a dumbfire torpedo that you really have to plan where to go with it. Like, I don't know. This Leahy's on a course of 093. 093. Let's say that in... they do 13 miles, so... Sorry, 13 knots, so this is going to take them about half of that. You might be cringing at this stuff, but I'm definitely practicing with it as I'm doing this. So, they're doing 13 knots. Fine. That means that's where they're going to be in in an hour, not in a half hour, in an hour. Move that line as well. So divide that by 6. You got about 2 miles and change. So let's say 2.2 miles, 2.2 miles, 2.2. So those are essentially their journey tracks. This is where the ship's going to go in 10 minutes, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes. If they stick to this course. My torpedo runs at 50 knots, giving me the capability of intercepting this thing in 1/5 of the time, so it's in 12 minutes, so I need to be about there. That's my expectation. So we're going to send a torpedo there. And see if we can pick up the wake from the Leahy. This is assuming that they'll maintain their current course. Now, given this new development here... Oh, there's 4 actually. I am suddenly a lot more careful with launching the U-sets, the 80s, because I don't have that many. And if I want to take out that landing ship and all their escorts, I probably will need torpedoes to do that. That means the K503 and their torpedoes have to come back, because they still have some torps that can be useful. The 5365Ks would be perfectly sufficient to deal with a couple of surface ships like that. And with the helicopter far away, I could even launch anti-ship missiles, but I'm kind of worried that the helicopter's going to come right racing for me and drop torpedoes at me, so waiting and getting the submarine into range is probably the better way to go. Let's go 2/3. And prepare for that torpedo attack. As for the guys over there... What is that? We're picking it up from their emissions. I wouldn't be surprised if that's an Adams guarding that group. Also, considering that this is a Belknap with the Standard Missile 2s, so that's 80-mile range. I'm probably already in their anti-air range. Or I'm going to be there very, very soon. I know that's not strictly Leahy, but whatever. There. 80 miles. So I cannot fly the bear in too much closer. These are merchants, because those were sailing up along with the barograph. Fine. Not worried. Okay, let's see if I can actually land that torpedo onto that target. My calculations were apparently way off. We are actually arriving at the intercept point too early. So I've kind of had it. I'm now just going to launch a torpedo at it. It's just a standard U-set 80. And maybe we can launch, I don't know, a spread of those carrier killers later against the Tarawa if we ever get there. But that's quite the trek. Because that is 200 miles out. It's a Nox. A Nox and a Kid. Okay. Yeah, fine. First we're gonna have to kill a Lillie. Yeah, this torpedo doesn't even search. Does that thing even have a seeker cone? Because it's supposed to have one. I mean, yes, it's a wake-homing torpedo, but... Well, okay, maybe they don't have seeker cone. Anyway, that Lillie's going to finally meet its match with the UZ-80, and these guys are going to get dealt with by the other sub. And finally, after wasting 2 torpedoes, I have pretty decent hopes that this Lillie is going to finally meet its match as this UZ-80 closes in. They might still pop a noisemaker, they might still try and evade their fate. But I don't think they'll actually make it out of there alive. Which is good, because it clears up the way for anti-ship missile strikes. Oh, come on. Are you kidding? You... What? Now you're searching. Yes, good man. I was worried he was going to miss it entirely. But he's not. Right into the propeller, and you're gone. So, that ought to take care of the Lillie. We have hit the track. We still got 2 wake homers nicely venturing out and going, I don't know, whale hunting. This kind of frees up K244 to head southwest. Because I want to meet with this group. It's not a very safe meeting, but it's going to take me about 12 hours to get there. That's fine. Let's go very deep, retrieve the towed array, and prepare to race over there. This would be a fantastic catch. If I can get those guys, that would very, very much piss off the Americans and make me very happy. So I want to get rid of those, and in the meanwhile the K503 is going to close the distance, fire wake homers after these landing ships, and close the deal with them. A little later, our next Predator is eagerly awaiting its opportunity to strike, because K503 has really not done much this mission. It's run away, it's come back, and it's now time to strike. So, let's have her go on the offensive. The 53 65K wake-homing torpedoes. I hope that they're going to wake home from the front. I'm not too sure. We'll just see how it goes. I'm going to give them each 1 torpedo, and that should be sufficient to ruin the day of these various ships. I wonder whether or not I am going to have a mission end after this one. Because it's possible that the script is set up so that once you kill these transport ships, you're done. That would be unfortunate. It would basically mean that these guys are all placeholders, which is not what I want. I want to take them out. But whether the game will allow me to do that, I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens when these 3 transports go down. We are aligning. We're apparently having to go a little shallower, apparently. We're already going to go to 329. Let's increase our ascent a bit. Passing 650. 600 feet. 550. Leveling out. 500. 450. I think we're coming up above the layer at this point. Yeah, thermal laser 369. Range 7 miles the greatest, 5.2 miles shortest. Against target is known as Austin. Here it is. There's 1 away, there's 2 away. I think there's 3. There we go. Torpedoes away. Let's let these guys do what they do best. Home in on wakes and eliminate ships. First torpedo running very, very nicely at the Austin. Landing platform dock this ship. Unfortunately, it's got no defenses. And I think it's also stalled. The ship's doing 0 knots. Much like the Newport and the Kalawa here. They just stop. I think it has to do with the fact that their fleet or their formation leader is dead. It's a bug that I have reported to the devs, and I think they're still working on fixing that. Because, of course, this ship should continue on its path. It should go, okay, fine. I might not have a leader anymore. I guess that we now have a new leader. and somebody else takes up the slack. But I'm not seeing that. And it's not the first time that we have seen these guys just completely stall out and do nothing. Bit unfortunate, but then again, early access, so it is entirely likely that we'll see more things such as this, where you go, huh, what? Why is this Newport sitting here? Well, that could be one of the reasons why. And of course, if you have bugs, then please report those to the devs, because they, at least in my experience so far, have been very forthcoming in being able to fix bugs quite quickly, actually. And I hope that they will continue to do so. And I very much expect them to continue to do so, because it is, of course, an early access title. Looks like that's a hit. So the Austin has taken a big hit. The Newport has taken a big hit. And then this poor ship here. I mean, they're not even trying to run away anymore. Maybe they've resigned themselves to their fate. They know what's coming. They know that there is not that much that they can do about it. So be it. My very curious to see what's going to happen next. Will these guys just sink and end the mission? Or not? Hit. Austin is badly damaged. You're also dealing with probably secondary explosions aboard. Newport. This thing's going down by the bow. Now, I have sent one of my other aircraft forward, the Bear here, but I think that this is that second group. There does not appear to be another, well, formation out here. So, what I'm going to try and do now is put this helicopter here out of its misery. Because this poor helicopter has lost its parent ship. Its mothership's dead. Wait. They've dropped sonobuoys. That is new. They changed it. One of my biggest frustrations with the AI was that they did not drop sonobuoys. This guy is not carrying a full rack of sonobuoys anymore. They only got 4 left. This guy also dropped sonobuoys. They dropped 7 out of 15. So I'm very surprised to see that. Very happily surprised, I should add. Now, of course, this thing doesn't have any air-to-air weapons in the traditional missile sense, but I have a tail gunner. So I'm going to try and use that against this helicopter here, which means we will have to be very close. And altitude-wise, yeah, I can only set it to 3,000 or 1,000. I'm kind of doing a pass. And yes, I don't strictly have to kill the helicopter, but hey, I can. So I guess for science, we should. Let's see if we can get him. Where is he? There he is. Right there, that little dot. Go down. I cannot take direct control of an aircraft, so it's not as simple as, for example, commanding a ship to change course. I just hope that we can get a good shot lined up here. Right about now. Use that gun against that helo. Go on. Now would be a great time to do it. It's possible that only... Yes, there we go! Satisfying. Required? No. But the fact that you can do this, I love that. Anyway, how are our targets doing? The Charleston's long dead. The Newport is eliminated. The Austin going down by the bow. And the Kalau, I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, appears to also be going down. Is that it? Or do we need to do more? And at this point in the recording, I made a horrible mistake and I pressed F9 accidentally. F9, which is quick load. So another scenario fired up and everything I did about this scenario was gone. I'm going to say I won the mission because I was able to eliminate the entire convoy. Whether or not I would have been able to sink the rest of the landing ships, I think so. But, well, we'll just leave that up to your imagination. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the hunt. And I'll see you soon for more sea power.